Welcome back, guys, to another Dragon Ball Project Multi video. Today we're going to be going over the divine cards that are currently in the beta of Project Multi. Currently we are rank 2 in the world as of recording this in Project Multi, so we have some good experience to go off of to help you guys make the best choice when choosing your cards manually for your match. With that being said, grab your senzu beans and let's get into it. The first divine card here that we are going to be taking a look at is the Flash of Lightning card. This will be in your first card slot, and what this card does is after you use Vanishing Step, enemy heroes that you attack within 2 seconds will have additional energy damage applied to them. This can be used on both Goku and on Piccolo. However, it's more so a Piccolo thing because Piccolo wants to use his Vanishing Step to reposition and then attack them, and he does more energy damage. Goku, his only energy damage is like his Kamehameha and his Spirit Bomb, and he doesn't really use Vanishing Step often. But you could use this on him if you wanted to. Mayteen, similar thing, she can use this with her Destructo Disc, it'll benefit that. But in terms of their actual rush damage, which is like their basic attack, this will not affect that damage at all. The second card here is the Super Snowball card. Now this card is absolutely insane, but it comes with a caveat. For every KO or assist on an enemy hero, you get an all attack up that can be raised up to 10 times, and you'll lose a lot of this boost if you're KO'd. When it says you'll lose a lot, that means you're losing half. The characters that benefit the most from this, obviously anybody can. You can run this on literally any of the characters and this will be good for them. You can run this on Krillin, you can run this on 18, you can run this on Goku, you can run this on Zamasu. I ran it on Zamasu, Piccolo. However, you just gotta make sure that you don't die. That's why I really like running this on Zamasu, because Zamasu is very hard to kill and he can usually get a lot of benefit out of this. So that's why I usually like running this on Zamasu. Now we have the first defensive card here called Too Easy. When taking damage that brings your life to 50% of max or lower, gives an extra life for 3 seconds. Can be activated up to once every 30 seconds. What this does is this kind of just gives you a little revive effect whenever you are to fall below that percentage of HP. However, when you revive, you can't use any skills for a little bit and then you can go back to playing like normal. This one is pretty good, but honestly, if you get under that HP threshold, most likely you're gonna die anyways. I would recommend not taking this, but if you wanted to, this is pretty good on the tanks like Zamasu and Vegeta. I just haven't personally had much success with this one or gotten value out of it. The second one here is, however, something you want to take. This is called Build Up. Applies all defense up every time you score a KO or assist on two enemy NPCs, up to 20 times. What this is it's basically a version of Snowball, but for defense, and you don't lose it on death, and it builds up from killing enemy NPCs, basically the minions that you farm, rather than enemies that you kill. This one is, in my opinion, 10 times better than this. You get more value out of this, you feel way more tanky with this, and I would 100% of the time, if you're trying to feel tankier, choose this one. Here we have the first technical cards. The first one is Strategic Escape, which gives you a sight boost and movement speed whenever your back is turned to a nearby enemy hero. We fought a lot of people that would benefit from this, but I would not personally recommend it. I don't think that this is something you really need, unless you're playing like maybe Piccolo. Piccolo could probably benefit from this to get away a little faster. Then we have Thanks God of Destruction, which is after using a skill in a God of Destruction area, reduces cooldown time for the skill used. Again, this is something like if you're playing somebody that's maybe a tower rusher, somebody like Piccolo who can maybe like special beam cannon the tower, or Vegeta who's gonna AoE on the tower, stuff like that, you can maybe use this, but I think that the other ones here are just way better than these technical cards are. I would almost never choose these ones. Here we have the second card that is on the offensive category. This one is Giant Sword. This one's absolutely amazing. It says land an attack on an enemy hero when their life is 80% or higher, boost damage dealt to a target for a remainder of battle, more damage is dealt depending on the target's max life. This card makes killing Zamasu a hell of a lot easier. So I would recommend all of your damage dealers, if you're playing them, 18, Goku, Piccolo, eventually Trunks, you want to take this card. You need this card to kill the tanks, especially Zamasu, 100%. Everybody else, I would not recommend to take this. This is only really beneficial for your damage dealers. You don't really need this if you're playing tank or utility. You could maybe take it on Krillin if you're playing like a DPS Krillin, and you could definitely take it on Krillin and he could benefit from it. The second version of the second slot cards here is Prepare to Die, which boosts damage slightly on enemy heroes with 50% life or less until the end of a conversation. This effect is greatly boosted if the enemy holds out for at least 4 seconds. This one is also really good for just a general damage buff against everybody. So if you're not really trying to kill a tank and he's not really the threat, then you want to take this one and then you can kill everybody else faster. But if you're really trying to kill a tank, this one gives you a lot more benefits for killing a tank. Here we have the second defensive slot card that says don't take damage from an enemy hero for 10 seconds and you gain a barrier that greatly reduces damage from enemy heroes. Barrier is broken 1 second after enemy hero damages. This is pretty solid, not the worst, not the greatest, but you can definitely use this. I would say probably somebody like Piccolo would benefit a lot from this. He can take this and then just have a good shield that helps him out because Piccolo has one of the lowest HPs. So this would be really good for Piccolo, and he can keep his range to regenerate the 10-second barrier. The second green card is also really good. It's Steel Skin. Taking an attack from an enemy hero and reduces damages a set amount per hit. This is just a generally damage reduction essentially, and all you have to do to get this one is take a hit. And this is just a really good standard card, kind of automates itself. Not much to say about it. You take this on anybody that you're trying to be defensive with, especially as Masu and Vegeta, Cooler, those characters would benefit a lot from this. Now we have the first technical card of the second slot, which is get obstructed by an enemy hero, big boost to movement speed and reduces vanishing step cooldown time for 4 seconds, can be activated up to once every 10 seconds. This is okay. Again, like if you're trying to run away, this is good, but other than that, I don't really see why you would take this. The second technical card on the same section of the second cards is deal damage to boss or super boss whose life is 50% or lower, boosts damage to boss and super bosses, and reduces damage to enemy heroes for 4 seconds. Effect is cancelled once the boss is defeated. This is really good if you're trying to maybe secure like Ozaru. This is really good if you're trying to secure Ozaru, Android 16, Brienne, Jocko, and Nappa. That is where you would want to take this. Other than that, kind of useless. But that is a big thing since Ozaru can literally win you the game. Now we are finally in the third slot of the offensive cards. This one is Berserker, which boosts your rush attack damage when character strikes a single enemy hero with 3 rush attacks in a row. Ends 4 seconds after the end of rush attack on enemy hero. This is good for basically characters like Goku and 18 who are constantly like in your face attacking you with their rush attack. This could also be good for Piccolo, who's keeping range with his rush attack, or Zamasu, who's constantly doing damage with his rush attack, or Vegeta, who's constantly doing damage. Like, rush attack is something that everybody uses, so this is something that you could use on pretty much everyone if you're not using the second one. And the second one here is Pursuer. Land attacks on an enemy hero with 2 skills within 2 seconds, and then do additional energy damage to the target. Boost your speed for 7.5 seconds when heading towards target. This is good for if you're trying to chase people down, also just do extra energy damage to them. But this is more so for characters like Piccolo that are going to be using energy damage a lot because his main rush attack is energy damage, whereas Goku's and the others is physical damage. Also, like Krillin can use this. But these are both really good cards. Taking a look at the first slot 3 defensive card here, Guardian Angel. Takes some of the nearby allies' damage for them when they take damage from an enemy hero, except those with Guardian Angel. Damage taken reduced the more allies are around you. This is just absolutely phenomenal. It makes you able to tank for your whole team. Every single tank should be taking this. If you're playing tank and you're not taking this, you're selling the game. So take this if you're playing tank, especially if you're Majin Buu. The second defensive card here is reduce damage from super attacks for 3 seconds after using Vanishing Step. The amount reduced goes down over time. This is also a very solid card, but I wouldn't take this if you're a tank. I would take this more so if you're maybe like playing somebody like Piccolo or Goku that go like really deep into the fight. You want to have this so that you take less damage from super attacks, which are harder for you to avoid since you're in the front line of the game. That's when you would want to take this one if you're struggling to tank. Third technical card here is land a skill, accepts super attacks on an enemy hero within 3 seconds of being discovered. It greatly reduces cooldown of the skill landed. This is good for somebody who wants to spam a skill like maybe Krillin. Krillin can use this to get his traps reset or get his smoke reset. You can do stuff like that for Krillin. Everybody else kind of doesn't really benefit from this. You could maybe do like a double skill, double Kamehameha with Goku or stuff, but the other options I would say are just better than using this one. As you guys can see, the pattern is that technical cards aren't really that good. Now, the final technical card we have to go over is Limit Breaking Jump. This one is Vanish Step is in cooldown, lets you use Vanishing Step 1 extra time before its cooldown ends, but it applies no skills for 1 second and adds plus 5 seconds to the cooldown for all skills. Basically what that means is you can use your vanishing step twice, which can be pretty good if you're like trying to get out from like a really big ultimate late game, because a lot of the ultimate late games take up like the whole map. But the caveat is once you do that, you can't use any skills for 5 seconds, so you're basically forced to run away because you're not winning a fight without your skills. So it's not a horrible card, but it's like a very niche card. Now I'm gonna move my camera a little bit above here so you guys can see these bottom card bonuses here. These card bonuses activate when you coordinate the bottom colors here with the top cards that you choose. So if you choose all 3 red cards in your first, second, and third slot, you'll get this bonus, and vice versa for how to activate all of these. So the bonuses here, obviously the first one is if you choose all 3 offensive cards in every slot, you will get a large boost to all attacks. Then the second one is a gradually boost all attacks during battle against enemy heroes. Effect is reset if you leave the battle. So this is really good if you're in an extended fight, and if you're trying to get like a damage dealer that does damage over time in the fight. So you can use this on Goku and Piccolo and more so those characters, but 18 you'd probably want more so this one because 18 is more about burst damage. Goku can also do burst damage, but Goku's also really good for gradual damage throughout the fight, so you could go either or for Goku. The third one here is during a rush attack gives movement speed up and slightly boost rush attack damage. You could definitely use this on Goku, 18, you could use this on Piccolo, everybody can kind of use this one, and it wouldn't be a really bad spot. It's just the fact that you have to again choose a technical, I believe in slot 3. That's how these work, is that they have to be in that certain slot. So your slot 3, you'd have to give up one of these to go for a technical, and then you could get this one for floating rush. Then we have Theory Fortitude, which is boost all defenses more the lower your life is. This could be pretty good on Vegeta. Since he doesn't regenerate, you could have this on Vegeta and he'll do pretty good with this one. Then we have Unsinkable, which boosts all your defenses more according to how many heroes are nearby you. This is amazing for Zamasu because he benefits from all 3 of the defensive cards that you can choose, and he's able to like 1v4 because of how much he heals. So this is very good on Zamasu. Then we have Adrenaline Burst, which boosts your strike defense and reduces skill cooldown time except for super attacks of little every time strike damage is taken from an enemy hero. Effect is reset if you leave the battle. This can be pretty good on Zamasu as well. You can also use this on Krillin. All, this is not a horrible thing, but again, remember it is just strike defense. Anybody who's doing Ki Blast like Piccolo is going to melt through you. Then we have Mock Strike, which boosts effects of movement speed up and boosts attack damage and stagger time. So the characters who stagger, this could be really good on 18 because it would make it very hard for you to get away from 18. She's just going to absolutely chase you down, and she has stagger as well. You can also use this on Majin Buu and just completely like make it to where nobody can get away from you. So those are the 2 options with this one. Then you have Energy Absorption, which slightly reduces your skill cooldown time when hit by an energy attack from an enemy hero. The reduction amount is based on the amount of damage taken. So this one, you kind of want to put it on like, again, like Krillin, Majin Buu, mainly Majin Buu. Krillin doesn't really benefit from this, but you can use it on him if you want to make him a little defensive. But mainly Majin Buu benefits from this heavily. Then if you run all 3 utility cards, you can get a great boost to movement speed when heading towards an ally hero. This can be absolutely good for Majin Buu if you're just trying to play a massively supportive Majin Buu. Same thing for if you have Gohan unlocked, you can use this on him as well. But other than that, kind of a niche use, not really recommended. Now, if you have one of each card, it will boost all your attack and all your defense and reduce skill cooldown time. This is also a very, very, very good overall just thing that you can get with Trinity Force, which is a reference to League of Legends. There's an item in Trinity Force that gives you every single stat, and that's kind of what this is doing here as well. This is boosting all of your attack, all of your defense, and reducing your skill cooldown times. This, I would say, is very good for Piccolo because Piccolo wants defensive stuff, and he wants the cooldown, and he wants the attack. Generally, this is good for everyone, but some characters will obviously benefit from something like this. This is a lot better for Zamasu than this is. But this is really good for Goku, Piccolo, 18. All of those characters will benefit a lot from this. Krillin, once we get Trunks unlocked, he can probably also benefit from this. Cooler. So a lot of characters, you probably want this more so than any of the other ones, but any of these are also usable. But a lot of the characters, I would say you probably just want this. With that being said, guys, that is the breakdown of the divine cards in the beta of Dragon Ball Project Multi. I hope this helped, and I hope this makes you a better informed decision when you're choosing your cards in game manually, which is what I would recommend you to do. With that being said, this is your boy Aizen, signing out.